I'm Bonnie Megowan, and this is the Cymek Junior. Hi, I'm Bonnie Megowan, and I'm going to sharpen my first shear on our new, smaller Cymek Junior. And you see the Cymek that we've had for the last, 25 years, maybe longer, 30 years. But we now are introducing a smaller version, and there are some advantages and disadvantages. The number one advantage is this is a lot lighter, a lot easier to pack into a bag and carry with you, where this is a heavier machine. We call this the Cymek HD because it is heavy duty. This one is the Junior, but they both use the same size plates. They both can convex and bevel, and they both have a clamp. Now there's some things that I do a little differently with the Cymek Junior than I do the HD, and that's what I wanted to sharpen a shear today and let you watch me do it on the Cymek Junior. Now this is a lot less expensive, it's lighter. I like to think of it the way I'm going to use it personally as a backup for my Cymek. If I'm going to fly somewhere or I'm going somewhere to sharpen and I only have a few shears and I just want to pack something small, this is what I'll take. I think a lot of people will buy this because they can sharpen now and afford to be able to sharpen for their hair salon or their barber shop or their dog groomers and just do a little bit of sideline sharpening. And it's also a way for someone on a budget to get into having a Flathone machine, which to me is a lot easier to use, a lot better to use for Japanese type shears than your traditional grinder, bench grinder style. And it may be something that they could get started with, and then later on if they wanted to go to the upgrade to the HD. The beauty of this, as I said, is they use the same supplies. There's a couple of little minor things that I'm going to be doing different when I sharpen these shears. Also, both of them, we can use the curve adapter on it with our plates. So it's the same plates for the Cymek Junior as the Cymek. So we're excited about this machine. It is all USA made, and variable speed. It can go left and right for left-handed shears and right-handed shears without having another clamp. So let's jump into sharpening these shears. Yeah, this is a Jaguar shear, one of the ones that is convex. Here's the numbers. It really only has 3 numbers, 35, 45, and 55. Most of your sharpening is going to be within that range. So if I wanted to do a 40, I'm lining up on this line, I would be between the 45 and the 35. And you're going to move this screw down and then tighten it with the nut to set your exact angle. So right now I'm at not quite 40. I would want to move it up just a tad. And now it would be at 40 degrees. If I wanted to go 45, that's moving up to here, and I can tighten my screw and move that up to 45. So I'm going to set this at 45, which I think is the right angle for this shear. And now, see, this will rock into place. So when this ships to you, this part is detached. You're just going to have to use the Allen wrench that comes with it and put the 2 pieces together. I'm going to keep mine together even when I travel. I'm going to be going to the Orlando Hair Show this weekend. I'll be taking my Cymek HD, but I'll also take the Cymek Junior. It gives me a second machine to sharpen at a hair show. So just like I would on the Cymek, I've already done my rod line. I've taken them apart. So I've got an 800 grit here. And this, I think I've sharpened 1 shear with it. I'm setting this on that back ride. Like on the Cymek HD, I'm going to do a little bit angling down. So that's how I'm setting my clamp. I'll probably hold it this way to make sure there's no wobble to it. It's a little bit narrower section that's setting it here. This goes in that hole, and I'm coming in this way. And at this point, it's going to be easier, unless I have a tall stool, it's going to be easier for me to stand up. And you have the power switch, which it powers on, reverse and forward. Don't get confused because the direction is a little different between this one and the HD. Then on this side, I have the speed control. And this will go all the way up to this fast, which you should never have a reason to go that fast. I'm going to be sharpening about here. And I do want to demonstrate the torque. Okay, I've got it at 20%. I would have a hard time stopping. It's pretty strong. I can stop it, but I have to use a good bit of pressure. So the torque is not quite as good as the HD, but better than other machines I've trained on. So if I want to spray some water on it, I can. You do have a little bit of a guard here to protect the dust from going out, but it doesn't protect you. And I'm coming in here and rolling to the edge. Landing like the airplane and rolling to the edge. Now if I had a tall stool, I would be able to do this sitting down. Got a little bit of a burr. I'd like to get a little bit more. I can turn it up a smidgen. You can hold it here or up there. I like both hands together. I don't have a good burr here. I've got a good burr at the tip. Sometimes a little less tilting will help get the burr at this area. And less diagonal, a little bit more straight. And I've got a nice burr, and I'm going to go on to my other blade. Have a good burr back here. Don't feel one at the tip, and you can still see a little of the red at the tip. See, I'm pulling it out and making sure I get that tip good. Should have that fine now. Oh yeah. So now I'm going to remove the burr and polish. Just for jollies, let me show you how you can do a left-handed shear, and you don't even need to take it apart, whether it's left-handed or right-handed. So instead of the clamp going this way, my clamp is going that way. I could do this, as I said, with it together. See how I'm clamped the left one in? I could take the blades apart and do this, or I can do it with the blades together. And now this slides to that side. My clamp goes in on this side, you see? And I'm rolling it to the edge here. But I have a right-handed shear today. But if you have a left-handed one, you know you can do either one with this equipment. So I'm going to quickly remove my burr. And all I'm doing is removing my burr. I've already worked the ride line earlier. Still feel some. Down below my debris line. Oh, see the nice burr there. Set this aside. Now you got to remember, your grit can fall off over here. So if you're used to putting your stone on the right side of your machine, you need to make sure you cover it up or move it to the left side. So now I'm going to polish. And I'm going to pull out the polishing pad that I had before. which has diamond spray on it. I'll put a little bit more so you can see me put it on. And it has some polish on it. I'm going to go a little bit faster. Now you can alternately just move the screw up because it's not that difficult to do that. You just have to remember to move it back before you go to the next shear, but and I can go faster if I like. And I'm still only going at 70%. That looks pretty good. I'm going to feel and see if all the outside burr's gone, and it's not. I'm still feeling some outside burrs, so I'm going to polish a little bit more. Ah, now that feels smooth. You've got to get close enough to the edge to remove the outside burrs, but not so far away that, you know, you leave some burrs behind. So now I'm on to my other part of the shear. It does have a tendency to want to pull this out of the arm because of the way it's going, so you do want to kind of hold it in here. So now I'm going to clean up these shears with alcohol and put them back together. I think in using this machine, me personally, rather than fiddling with and readjusting the clamp, I will probably just do the polishing freehand, and you can do this easier sitting down too. Now the dust does come up more in your face with this machine, so you may want to, if you sit down to sharpen, wear a mask. Feel a little bit splattering on me, but that's giving me a pretty nice polish. And clean it up with a little alcohol. And these shears are ready to be tested. Let's see how well the little Cymek Junior sharpened these Jaguar shears. So I'm going to do one cut dry, double check my adjustment. Okay, I think that's it. Let's see how well this cuts. Release pressure out. There you go. Can test on a little bit of hair, but I know these are going to feel fine. It's my first shears to sharpen on the Cymek Junior, and I'm very pleased with the quality of the sharpening. It's given me the same quality as sharpening as the HD. Now the clamp is a little bit more fiddly, and I don't have the ability to adjust the positions, but it is a smaller machine, it's lighter, has a really good place in conjunction or as a first step toward the Cymek HD.